Hi again. So, can people still make financial independence through property investments in Europe? That's probably the biggest question I get from friends and family. I'm really pleased that I started about 3 years ago and can ride off the back of some pretty significant gains where I'm based in Madrid, in Spain. Today I want to take a little bit of a digression from what we usually discuss. We usually focus on, the 10th project that we have got going on. Slight delay in that project, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to try and answer that biggest question that we do have. So that's where we're headed today. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the markets have done recently in some of the European capitals. We're going to talk a little bit with our agent and a fellow investor, someone who reached financial independence a few years ago and gave up her corporate career in her late 20s to just focus purely on real estate. And we're just going to really talk about those fundamental points. We will, however, still visit Project 10. It has made some progress, but I have promised to provide an update each of these videos until it's complete. So you will see it very briefly though. And then we should take it from there.
So perhaps people are right to have a bit of FOMO and question whether they've actually missed the boat, especially in terms of investing in some of the European capitals. Well, certainly the capitals that I was looking into about 3 or 4 years ago when I first started this process. I happened luckily to pick Madrid mainly because I really liked the idea of living in Spain. For me, it was a lifestyle choice. So let's keep in mind that the period that we're going to talk about is at around the same time as COVID. So obviously COVID hit around 5 years ago. Often we actually saw a depression in the market, but you can actually still see that overall in these 4 areas that we're going to be talking about, there's been quite a significant increase, notwithstanding the COVID effect. So Madrid, obviously the one that's closest to my heart, 51% over 5 years. In Berlin, 35% in around 6 years. In Milan, 49% in around 5 years. And Lisbon, a whopping 74% in 5 years. So they're the numbers there. I get why people are starting to feel like they actually missed out on the run itself.
For me, Madrid still feels underpriced. I'm still targeting Madrid. So my goal is, every year to buy 2 or 3 apartments and break that into 4-bedroom HMOs. The reason being is, first of all, the return on investment seems high, even given the increase that we've seen over the last couple of years in terms of purchase prices. There still are bargains out there. So I'll talk at some point in the future about how to get those bargains. But, instead of going to some of the major websites, get relationships with real estate agents, for example. You can find out from, Idealista as an example, who's advertising in what areas. Send them emails directly and ask for them to reach out with any opportunities that they might have. And sometimes they've got something that's just coming onto the market. They're happy to show you first, and you can make an offer, then and there. Usually you need to act very quickly. I also think that whilst there have been increases in Madrid over the last year or two especially, there's still a long way for interest rates to come down. History shows when interest rates come down, property prices increase. So buying now makes sense to me. The other thing is, in 2008, there was a housing crisis in all of Spain. And because of that, they put quite significant restrictions and regulations in terms of how much money banks could lend to borrowers, especially investments or second houses, or third houses indeed. So this actually kept the market quite depressed. I tend to feel that over time, these regulations will become a little bit more relaxed as people forget what happened in 2008. And we're going to continue to see price rises in places like, Barcelona, Madrid, and some of the other central hubs in Spain. So that's why I'm continuing to focus on Madrid. I always say Madrid because I've studied the market. I've chosen 2 or 3 suburbs here that do quite well and that I know quite well, that I feel are going through the gentrification process, and that we're likely to continue to see prices increasing over time. That's my opinion. Please do your research. We're going to cross over quickly to the apartment now. I did promise a quick update. Importantly, perhaps more importantly, we're going to also speak to Yi Lu. Yi, as I mentioned, has already reached financial freedom in her late 20s. She now focuses on real estate full-time. She's our agent. She knows the market really well, and we're going to get some of her advice.
Falta un poco más, solo porque ahí va. ¿Eso? Sí, hasta un poquito más para abajo,
So as promised, I said I'd introduce you to our agent, a fellow investor, and our great friend, Yi Lu. Yi Lu has a lot of properties, and she and I have been working together for 3 years now to seek financial freedom. So I'm going to ask her a couple of questions today. I'm going to put her contact details down below in the description. So I'll put her email there. If people are interested, they can reach out to her and get as informed as I am in buying real estate with the potential of becoming financially free as soon as possible and then retiring early from corporate life. So first of all, Yi, the price has gone up over the last 3, 4, 5 years. I think last year was around 24% or more in Madrid. Have people missed the boat, or are there more opportunities out there? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so if you are thinking about investing, so now in Spain we still have time because prices will go up more and more. Just today I have like a Chinese client, and she just bought a flat for more than 200,000 euros, and she said that it's still worth it. So from this case, I would consider that we still have time to start investing. Yeah, of course.
Second question, you've been on this property investing journey for a while now. You're financially free, or pretty close to financially free, and could leave your corporate job a couple of years ago. What do you wish you knew back then that you know now?
Yeah, so the problem that I wish I knew and I discovered also from my first investor client is that we don't think in the market mind. So from the renters, for the tenant side. So my first investment, I just bought the house and then renovated as I wish I would live there. But then when I get rented, the tenants and the tenants' needs are exactly the opposite. So that would be interesting to know at the first place, and then apply to more flats. Yeah, that would be the key of the investing.
So third question is, what do you think is important to the tenants? I really like your tenant-centric attitude and the way that you treat them as a client. So what do you actually think, and what are your insights in terms of what tenants actually want?
Yeah, so they want privacy, so like rooms with private bathroom is very appreciated, and now you can easily rent it for like 700 to 800 per month without expenses. And then the privacy of them, but in a whole renovated flat. So they are investors that doesn't want to renovate or spend in these expenses, but I would highly recommend to do it. And every tenant loves to live in a brand new room, even it is like 9 meters square. It's worth it, and that's why they are paying for.
Great. Thanks, Yi. So that's it. You heard from Yi Lu. Are there any other comments or questions that you might have for her? Please post them. Yi's going to be a regular guest on this channel. I'm hoping that she starts a YouTube channel as well, so that we can kind of cross-market and interact with each other. That would be fun.
So thanks a lot for joining. I hope you found our 4th video informative. Next time, I just want to introduce to you a little bit about how we plan things out. So I wanted to take you through our, why we set things up in terms of the strategy itself, how we structured this business. So we set up a company, and I wanted to provide you with some rationale behind that. And then what we actually did. So a little bit about, how we approach banks, agents, and builders to really build out a fantastic team. And what we actually did. So what specifically we did when it came to bankers, when it came to our lawyers, when it came to the structure of the business, bookkeepers, to get us to the 10 property mark. Really importantly, and perhaps this is our competitive edge, I don't know, we have a tenant-ready mindset. And to me that means that everything that we do, we focus on the tenant all the time. So I'll talk to you a little bit about what that means as well in our next session. And of course, we're going to provide our usual 10th apartment update. And I'm hoping that the walls will be well and truly up in the next couple of days, so that I can take you for a walkthrough and you can actually get a feel for what the rooms will feel like. Like, follow and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you very much.